What is up, everyone? Today is Tuesday, which means that it's time for another live Q&A all about dropshipping. As always, I'm your host, Paul J Lipsky. So welcome to the channel. This is a pretty casual hour for us just to sit down. You can ask me any questions you have in the live chat, and I'll do my best to answer those questions for you. So let me know if you guys can see and hear me okay. I am just have a new setup here, so I want to make sure everything's working okay and that the mic's not too loud. But jump into the live chat. Let me know where in the world you are chiming in from, and then let me know what your dropshipping questions are. So I do have a new setup here, and I'll be talking about that in just a moment. But let's see who's here in the chat. And then I'll show you guys around and tell you guys what the new update's all about and answer your questions. We have Sean here, number one on the like. So thank you, Sean, for joining us. Sean's one of our moderators. So thank you, Sean, always for being here and moderating and getting rid of all the trolls in the chat. Appreciate you, man. And gentle reminder to please smash that like button as you come in here as well. All right. So the biggest announcement I want to talk about is, well, first of all, I'm going to be hosting a free training soon all about Facebook Marketplace dropshipping. So if you want that free training, that will be live. It won't be something you can watch later on. So if you want to check that out, the link to that is down below. The date and time is to be determined. So just make sure to sign up, get on the email for it. And that's also your chance to join my Facebook Marketplace dropshipping course, which is currently closed for enrollment, but will be opening back up during that presentation. And it's not going to be very long. It's not going to be a very long one. I'm going to keep this really short just to update you guys on what's been happening with Facebook Marketplace. If you're interested in getting started with it as we move into Q4 here, this is a really great time to do that. So I'll be talking all about that during that video. So make sure to join me live for that. Again, it's the first link down below. That'll be happening in the next couple of weeks. The other big update, the big obvious one, is that I'm in a new space. So we did buy a house, which is a big change because for the past 2 years, I've been traveling around the country full time in a camper van, traveling, exploring the country. I love to travel. So being able to do it for 2 years, I saw so much of the country. It was an incredible experience. And we still own that van. We still plan on traveling a lot in that van. But we found a home base, and there's a few reasons for that. One is just living on the road is not, sometimes it's good to just have a place to come home to, right? And just to settle down for a little while, especially type of work that I do, a lot of these videos, recording stuff for my courses. It's hard to do that in a van. The drop shipping itself, very easy to do from a van as long as I have a laptop. I'm just able to do that from anywhere in the world, from coffee shops, from my van, which had hotspots in it. But recording these videos were very difficult, especially with background noise and quiet and things like that. And I always wanted my own kind of home YouTube studio setup, and I'm pretty excited because I finally have one. So I want to quickly show you guys around if you guys are interested in checking that out, and then we'll get into these questions here. So this is the tour. All right, this is the door to my studio / office. I'm going to put some sort of sign here. Haven't decided what that's going to be yet. Entering, this is what it looks like. So there's still some more to be done, but everything in here, I'm pretty excited about the way it turned out. I had this really solid, heavy wood table with these metal legs, kind of industrial looking, made especially for this space because I really wanted a solid, like nice wooden table. And then I got this nice chair to go along with it that's like ribbed back here. And the whole goal of this is to make YouTube videos a lot easier for me to make. The drop shipping is very easy to do from anywhere with just my laptop, but the recording of the videos, that can be a challenge if you have to continually like set up cameras and all that stuff. So this is always set and ready to go. So obviously I have my laptop there is plugged in, but this is a second monitor for it, nice and big, so I can see what I'm doing. And then, I got this magic trackpad for the Apple, and I got this really cool decal for it that makes it look like an old Nintendo, which I really like. And over here, I have the camera setup. So this is what you just saw me on a few seconds ago. This is the camera. And then the cool thing about this is that this can kind of move around here. So I can kind of move my monitor out of the way, move this to different angles, move this up and down. And it's kind of here and out of the way, so it's not like on a tripod taking up room. And then this crazy thing is one of the microphones. So this can come up and around. It's kind of hard to do with one hand, but it does come closer to me on the chair. So I can have that mic just really close to me, but out of frame, so you guys can hear me really well without being able to see the microphone. But of course, I also have this microphone, which is really, really good for when I'm making my course videos, because I can put it right up to my mouth and have really good like voiceover. It's good for my lives as well, because the rest of the house can get kind of noisy. So it kind of blocks out background noise. Obviously, you have this really huge window here, which I love, but it lets in a ton of light, which is terrible for videos. So I have those blackout curtains there, which I draw when I'm recording. Then I have just an iPad here for other stuff, and that's one of my studio lights that kind of lights me. I have a second one, but I haven't quite gotten the lighting down yet, so still figuring that out. A shelf right here with some various stuff like my drone and succulent and some old camera stuff. And over here, this is my background. So this is exposed brick wall. It's actually the other side of a fireplace, the fireplace in the family room. And there's a blower in it that will blow hot air through the house. So that's what these are. I just close them off. Otherwise you could kind of see through them. And I really love the exposed brick background. Anyone who's been following my channel for a while, some of the first videos I made in my apartment in Brooklyn, I had exposed big brick background. I loved it. So really happy to have that back. Now this is kind of weird. This is a sink and the light and a medicine cabinet that's in a, well, this is supposed to be a bedroom that I'm in. This house was actually built in the 50s, I believe. So this stuff is kind of from back then. I don't know. I thought it was cool, so we decided to leave it. And I just kind of threw some ivy in there. The sink does work, but I'm not going to use it. Threw some ivy in there, and I have this cool light. This light should be on. What's going on? Well, I can control it from my phone. And so you'll see it different colors emitting out of there, depending on the video. But yeah, that's the basic setup. Still some more to do, especially with the lighting. And I want to put something over here. It feels a little empty over here. Put some artwork, maybe a giant whiteboard. I don't know. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. But yeah, that's it. All right, guys, so thank you for indulging me there. I just wanted to kind of show off. I'm working on that all week, actually longer than that, preparing for it. So just want to kind of show you guys behind the scenes there. All right, but let's now get to the reason you guys are all here, the questions. So let's jump in here. Sarah says, hey, Paul, can you share any success you're having using Banggood? So Banggood is a website that you can drop ship from. Usually a lot of people will do it onto eBay, not so much Amazon, not really Facebook Marketplace either, but it's fairly popular for eBay. Now, when you're buying from Banggood, a lot of times you're going to be buying from directly from China. A lot of these items ship from China, but they do have warehouses based here in the United States. So when you're dropshipping from Banggood, I really recommend you stick with the US based warehouses, not the ones based in China. And in general, I'm against dropshipping from China. I know I've talked about it before, made videos about it because I've experimented with it and tried it. I always like to try new things, but ultimately I didn't think it was a good idea. It takes a long time for customers to get their items. Dropshipping from the US suppliers or from US warehouses, the customers will get their items much faster, so it works out okay. Now with Banggood, when I was using them, I was having a lot of luck with them because they actually have a dropship program. So they encourage dropshipping, and the more items you buy, the more of a discount you're going to get on those items. Now, I've stopped using Banggood primarily because the type of dropshipping I like to do is I like to really lock in 1, 2, maybe 3 different suppliers that are working really, really well for me and just kind of go all in with them. Because if you can really understand how a particular supplier works and work with that supplier and do well with that supplier, it really gives you a competitive advantage with that supplier and just a competitive advantage overall. So you can definitely get that with Banggood, but I already had such a head start with other suppliers that I just went back and just started using those ones instead. And as we move on to more wholesale suppliers, I'm just moving away from using the retailers in general, but still use them because they still work. It's been great. Sarah's also a little bit concerned about people getting permanently banned on eBay. Usually that's because they're not starting their store the correct way, or there's something else going on. So by that, I mean, people might be setting up their accounts with VPNs, which, inside my course I say, don't do that, because I don't know why this is the problem with free content on YouTube. It's great, obviously. It's a great way to reach people. But if you're learning from someone who doesn't know what they're talking about, or you're just receiving bits of information here and bits of information here, and you put them together, you could end up doing something that's not right. So for instance, in some of my videos, I talk about using a VPN when you're dropshipping. There are certain circumstances when you want to use a VPN, but there are a lot of circumstances when you don't want to use a VPN. So if you're just setting up an eBay account, you don't want to be using a commercial VPN, because if you do, eBay is actually going to look at that account and they're going to actually be able to see what your IP address is. It's going to be associated with one of these commercial VPNs like NordVPN. And then eBay is going to say, hey, why is this person jumping on trying to hide their IP address with this commercial VPN? That looks suspicious to us. And so they just ban that account right away. So that's why I always say, do not start an eBay account while using a VPN, which is something that I found out, unfortunately, a lot of people do. I started receiving a bunch of messages from people saying they got banned right away. And I asked them I started talking with them, and I couldn't figure out what they were doing wrong, what all these people all of a sudden were getting banned for. And then eventually one of them said, I'd had my VPN on. I was like, whoa, why do you have a VPN on? And then I talked to some of the other people, and it's like the same thing. So it's just one of those things that I didn't even think to ask, because I didn't even think people were doing that, but they were. So that's why in the course, is another reason why the free information out there is not always great. Sometimes it's outdated. And also, it's incomplete, right? A YouTube video can only show so much, but something like a course, it will tell you all the problems that you can encounter, everything you shouldn't be doing, like setting up your account with a VPN or stuff like that. Hey, Amelia, I'm doing great. Pretty excited to be in a nice, comfortable space to be making this video. Hope you're doing well. Okay. Omar says, how are you doing? It's really hard for me to get accepted and approved to sell and dropship on Amazon. So I'm not sure what you mean by that, Omar, but selling on Amazon in general is kind of a beast. So it's not the most beginner-friendly place to sell. Now, if you're doing something like Amazon FBA, it's pretty easy to get approved and to work with Amazon through their FBA program, okay? But the problem with that is that usually involves a lot of upfront cost and investment of time and resources. Doing something like dropshipping, the amount of upfront investment is much, much lower than that. You're not going to be dealing with buying a lot of inventory up front, but then you're not working through the Amazon FBA program. So this is why I just released a video on Sunday talking about why I quit Amazon dropshipping. There's a bunch of reasons in there, but for beginners, that's kind of sort of the problem with them, is that they're not really super friendly to people that aren't doing FBA, but it's also expensive to start FBA with them. So, it's challenging working with Amazon. Something like eBay and Facebook Marketplace, dropshipping there is much, much simpler and easier. So for beginners, those are two really good places to start. I'm not sure what you mean by Walmart is not reacting to become Walmart tax exempt. So inside my course, I teach you step-by-step how to become tax exempt on Walmart.com. Olivia, I'm not sure exactly what problem you're having why you're not becoming tax exempt, it sounds like, feel free to post in the private group that's just for members of the course. Say what your problem is, and people in the group will be able to help you. But because I'm not exactly sure exactly where in the process you're getting stuck. Paul, can you give my pup Prince a shout out? He's 4 years old. Hey Prince, happy birthday, I should say. That looks like Prince right there. Super cute little dog. So happy birthday. Yeah, so payouts with Facebook Marketplace has been something that has been a back and forth issue with with Facebook Marketplace for a little while now at least. They promise they're working on it, and one thing I will say about Facebook Marketplace is that even though there's been a lot of bugs with them, which is kind of to be expected because they are a relatively new platform, especially with the shipping option. But with all those bugs, one thing I will say is that they have actually been pretty on top of things. These bugs come and it seems like, oh my gosh, like it takes forever for them to be fixed. But when you compare it to platforms like eBay, Facebook actually responds and fixes those bugs relatively quickly. I remember bugs that we were having earlier this year that a lot of people said this is taking forever, and people have already forgotten about them because Facebook has worked them out and has fixed them. They listen. They know this is an evolving new platform and they want it to be the best that it can be, and they are working on things. So stuff like this, even though it's concerning for sure, they are working on it. And so I do have faith that something like that will be fixed. So yeah, continuing off of that, Amanda says, having faith in Facebook can be frustrating. Think about refocusing on eBay a little more. Yeah, so that's up to you. I totally get the frustration because, like I said, new platform, new bugs, things like that. But I really, just from the past experience, I know that they are working on these things. They are fixing them and they are active about it. And since they've done that in the past, I believe they're going to continue to do it moving forward. It's only going to get better and better and better. And I'd rather be in it as it's growing and really master it now before it becomes so much easier place to sell that everyone wants to do it. All right. I skipped a question from Omar. Omar says, what is Walmart Plus? So Walmart Plus is a subscription service with Walmart where they will actually give you free shipping on all orders, and so that that greatly reduces the cost of some items that you're going to buy. Now, it does cost a monthly fee for it. A lot of dropshippers have found that if they use Walmart Plus, then what's going to happen is that after a while, Walmart's going to shut down their Walmart Plus account. They'll still be able to buy from Walmart. They just won't be able to use Walmart Plus. I always tell people sign up for the monthly Walmart Plus and try it out. And if you get kicked off, Paul told you that it might happen. But what you can just do is continue to buy from Walmart like pretty much everyone else does. But for a lot of people, they've just bought into Walmart Plus and it continues to work for them. So maybe you'll get lucky. All right, Darnell's here. Darnell says, hey, Paul from South Carolina. I got to move this up. I'm a little, not enough headroom here. Let's try this. Like I said, everything's kind of a work in progress. I'll fix that later. Darnell says, hey, from South Carolina, is it possible to make $10,000 a month on Facebook Marketplace? I guess I could just move back. That worked too, but I'm too far from the keyboard. There you go. Is it possible to make $10K a month from Facebook Marketplace without having a Facebook shop? Or do I really need a shop? A lot of people talk about Facebook shops nowadays. Yeah, there is a lot of chatter out there about Facebook shops, which is a little different than Facebook Marketplace, although there's similarities. Now, Facebook shops is something I've had in my eye on for close to a year now. If you remember the first video I ever made about Facebook Marketplace dropshipping, I said I really want to create a Facebook shop because the automation with it And I thought the scalability, because of the automation, would be, amazing and would make it really, really profitable. And I think that's that in theory that's true, but the problem there are a lot of problems with Facebook shops, although those problems are going away, which is why we're hearing a lot of chatter about them. So I think I'll probably make a video about Facebook shops soon and my thoughts on them and kind of my experiences with them. Overall, for now, what I'll say is that for most people, I would just stick with regular Facebook Marketplace because it's a lot easier than Facebook shops. And that's really what it comes down to, is that Facebook shops does work, but it doesn't work for everyone. It's not the easiest. It's not easy to get approved. And Facebook Marketplace, straight up Facebook Marketplace, is easier because of that. Is it possible to make $10,000 a month from Facebook Marketplace? $10,000 a month profit? I think so, if you have maybe multiple accounts and are really doing it full time. I don't think it's going to be easier with Facebook shops. I just think it'll just be another way of doing it. So that basically sums that up. And I'll make a more in-depth video about it later. Is dropshipping on Amazon dead? Rhetorical question. That's not a rhetorical question. Dropshipping on Amazon is definitely not dead. It still works. I have students who are still doing it really successfully, both retail and wholesale. But although really, if you're dropshipping on Amazon, you want to be doing wholesale. On eBay, you can get away with doing retail. A lot of people are doing it successfully, but with Amazon, I really think most people are not going to get away with doing retail. It's got to be wholesale on Amazon. But it does work, 100%. What is the best way of making money online completely for free? Completely for free? Well, dropshipping if you're going to sell physical products, it's one of the cheapest ways to get started because you don't have to buy all the inventory up front. If you're selling on a marketplace, like what I've been teaching for 5 years on eBay, Amazon, Facebook Marketplace, wherever, you don't have to build a website or pay for marketing, all that stuff. So the cost is really, really low, but not really free because there's software you got to sign up for, $20, $25 a month with that. And you need a credit card to fulfill your orders until the marketplace releases the money to you. So free-ish, I would say cheap to do drop shipping. If you want a completely free way to make money online, the only thing I can think of, I'm sure there's a few things, but you can make a YouTube channel. Making a YouTube channel, use your phone so it doesn't cost any money. You don't have to buy additional equipment. And you do make money from YouTube, but I'm kind of making a face about this because you really don't make that much, okay? Like I've been doing this for, how long have I had a YouTube channel? It's 17, 18, 4 years now. And I haven't made like a huge amount of money from it. And that's not why I do it, okay? You can't be in it to make the money with it. But technically, you just pull out your phone, record a video of yourself, put it on YouTube. It's free to do that. After a while, you can get monetized and yeah, you can make money with that with absolutely no cost investment to get started besides just your phone. And from that, you can do some affiliate marketing off of that. There are free blogs you can make, but blogs, I wouldn't say they're dead, but they're just not what they used to be. Yeah. Yes. So this is one of the problems with Facebook Marketplace. So what happens is, with Facebook shops, what's supposed to happen is you have a Facebook shop. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's basically a page on Facebook. And the cool thing about it is that it's under your business name. So it's not on your personal name like Facebook Marketplace. So it's like an actual business's page, right? You have a shop there. This is why I want to make a video so I can actually show you, explain it better. But the cool thing about that is that can connect to Shopify, so you can have some automation there. But you don't want just this page hanging out there because no one's going to visit that page. No one's going to buy your items because no one knows that page is there. It's the same thing as if you were to build your own Shopify website. That's great. You have your own website where you have products up for sale, but no one knows that website's there. That's what I've never liked about Shopify and why I love eBay and Amazon and Facebook Marketplace, because there's already a ton of customers there. People are already on eBay, Facebook, Amazon, looking for stuff to buy. You have items that you listed for sale and they're just going to buy it from you. And you can do that, have access to all those customers for very, very cheap, if not free. And it requires no work really to get those customers because they're already there. So you don't get that with a Shopify website, and you don't get that with a Facebook page, a Facebook shop. So what you want to be able to do is to take all the items in your Facebook shop and kind of cross-post them or have them also posted onto Facebook Marketplace. So kind of the linear line here is, okay, you add an item into Shopify, okay? That item in Shopify then gets added to your Facebook shop, which then gets added to your Facebook Marketplace, and that's all automated. And actually, you can add an additional first step, which is if you use a software like AutoDS works with Shopify. So you add an item into AutoDS. AutoDS will automatically post that to Shopify, which will automatically post it to a Facebook shop, which will automatically post it to Facebook Marketplace. Okay. So the cool thing about that is there's automation there, fully automated. But the problem is, one, again, you got to get approved for Facebook shops to work with Facebook Marketplace, and that approval isn't guaranteed. Okay. And this is a struggle I had earlier this year when I wanted this to work. The other problem is this. Facebook might tell you, yes, you've been approved. You can now have all your Facebook shop items on Facebook Marketplace. But then it doesn't work. And this is what happened with me earlier this year. I got so frustrated because I was emailing Facebook back and forth. What's going on? Oh, you should work. Oh, but it doesn't work. Oh, let me look into it. Oh, I haven't heard back from you in 3 weeks. What's going on? Oh, let me look into it. And finally, oh, no, that was just a beta. You weren't part of the beta, despite the fact that it said you were. So very, very frustrating. It really, really frustrated me because I felt like it was supposed to work and it didn't work. And the same thing is happening to people now, where they're told their items are going to be listed onto Facebook Marketplace, but then either it doesn't work or the items really just aren't appearing on Facebook Marketplace the way they're supposed to. So problems with that. Again, I'll make a more in-depth video kind of showing examples so it's a little bit clearer what I'm talking about. Sweet Paul, just like the pumpkin pie. No idea what that means, Omar, but I do love pumpkin pie. It's one of my favorite desserts. I have a really great eBay store currently, but won't be drop shipping on there. I'm thinking about starting a new account, not wholesale. So, Amanda, rather, if you just do everything by the book, you should be fine. If you want to create like a stealth thing so they don't connect your old account with your new account, you can do that. You just have to create the account under like a family member's name and just have a new IP address and cookies. There's videos on how to do that. I can maybe make another video in the future about it, or send me a DM on Instagram at Paul J Lipsky, and I'll try to point you towards one of those videos. But those are some things you might want to try. Okay. Omar says, does it even matter if we're making money online if we're broke and don't have any money? I'm not exactly sure what you mean, Omar, but you bring up a good point. It doesn't matter how much money you make. What matters is how much money you keep and how much money builds up in your bank account or in your investments. So this is something I've been a huge advocate of from the beginning, is that you need to be able to keep track of how much money you're actually making. So it doesn't matter what your sales volume is. That's great if you have doing $100,000 in sales a month, but how much are you spending? How much is going out? How much are you actually keeping as profit? That's what really matters. So always going to keep those things. That's why I'm a huge believer or an advocate of staying organized, keeping good spreadsheets with money in, money out, and what's left over is your profit. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, so eBay, Facebook Marketplace, they all hold your money until the product gets delivered to the customer. Do you have any advice for that? Yeah, so that's the way it is. Actually, eBay doesn't do that. eBay only does that if you're a new seller. After a while, they stop doing that. I think I missed something here. No. Yeah, so they only do that as a new seller. And Facebook Marketplace, yes, they do that. But then even if you don't upload a tracking number, they will release the money later. So what you want to do is you want a credit card. Get a good cashback credit card to fulfill those orders. And then once the money is released to you by the marketplace, you can use that money to pay off the credit card and then keep the rest as profit. So if you're going to use a credit card, get a business one that has good points, good cash back. So I really like ones that just have flat cash back, like maybe 2%. That way you can use those credit cards and just kind of build up those points, build up the cash back. Yeah, it's like free money. Yeah, so that's when you use a credit card for that. Hey, what's up, Blaze? Thanks for being here. Okay. Gray Zone says, what dropshipping strategy works for Canadian Facebook wannabes? Because none of the extensions work in Canada or aren't reliable. So my question, I have a Chrome extension that's designed to help dropshippers dropship on Facebook Marketplace. What it does is it copies the information from like Walmart.com and quickly pastes all that onto Facebook Marketplace, onto a new listing there. So it doesn't work on Facebook for Canada. I don't know if it's a different website for Facebook Canada. I'm not sure. And it doesn't work for any like Amazon.ca. So my question for you, Grays, is that what you're talking about? Is that what you mean? If so, send me a DM on Instagram at Paul J Lipsky, and we will talk, and I'll see if we can improve the Chrome extension, my Chrome extension, so that does work for you, if that's the only struggle that you're having. Again, send me a DM, say, hey, this is Gray Zone. I know you wanted to talk to me about dropshipping from Canada, and then we'll chat and figure something out. Check out the video. Check out the video that I did Sunday. All right. Yeah, so Facebook shops, so much chatter about that, but again, that's something I'm going to be making a video about and my thoughts on it pretty soon. Okay, write myself a note here. Okay. Okay, so Dale says, hi, Paul. For someone who just wants a side hustle to make an additional $500 a month, is dropshipping still a viable way to reach that goal, assuming good product research? Yeah, absolutely. If that's all your goal is just as a side income, $500 a month, that is 100% possible with dropshipping. So I think you can do it on eBay, you can do it on Facebook Marketplace, even on Amazon, as long as you're careful and really, are careful with Amazon's rules. Okay. Sorry, I just got to write myself a note here because I have these thoughts sometimes, and if I don't write it down, I'll forget about it. Okay. Sorry, sometimes my brain is just has a lot going on up there, and I got to get it out of my head. Otherwise, I'll be thinking about it for the rest of the video. Okay, where did I leave off? Okay, yeah, send me a DM about that. How to get supplier in China with fast shipping? I don't know. I mean, there are suppliers in China who will ship quickly, but you know what? Again, my opinion is don't drop ship from China. Drop ship from US-based suppliers or US-based warehouses. Banggood has them here in the United States. Plenty of US-based suppliers, whether that's retail, which I use a lot of, especially for Facebook Marketplace, or wholesale, which I use a lot of for eBay. There's plenty of them here. So those are the ones you should be using. Great customer service, great fast shipping, usually, and that's where I would go. I hope it's not frozen. Let me check the feed. No, everything looks good. So one of the cool things is I use that iPad just kind of monitor to make sure the thing doesn't freeze. Although the other great thing about being in the house now is that really, really fast internet. So we have pretty good internet in the van with the hotspots, but whew, it is fast here, and that makes me really happy. Oh, I'm way behind. That's the issue. I'm way behind in these questions. So if you guys are joining us and I haven't gotten to your question, I never get to all the questions because there's just too many. I only have an hour to do this every week. So if you really want your questions answered, you gotta come to early. Even before it starts, you can ask your question. That way you'll be one of the first questions and I'll answer it for you. So the best thing to do is subscribe and hit the bell notification so you get alerted every time I post a video and every time I post a live, and then jump right in and ask your question right away. I also do Q&As on Instagram, so you can follow me at Paul J Lipsky and follow my stories. And I do some giveaways. I did a giveaway a few weeks ago on the channel, on the Instagram. And I do Q&As more frequently there because they're kind of easier because I can just do them as I'm running about my day and don't need to sit down like I am now. Lancaster, California. I thought Lancaster was in Pennsylvania. Hey, what's up, Samir? Loud and clear. What's up, Jessica in Denver? How's it going? Thank you. Lisbon, Portugal. So cool. I've always wanted to visit Lisbon. I've thought about retiring in Lisbon for a nice early retirement, lower cost of living. Yeah. Thanks, Rich. Appreciate the feedback. Thanks, Amanda. Southwest Michigan. All right. Let's see. Yeah, so unfortunately, a bunch of people have had their Amazon buying accounts shut down. This is upsetting because this is the first time that Amazon has done this in the 5 years that I've been drop shipping. And I've talked to a lot of drop shippers who've been drop shipping even longer, and they haven't had this problem with Amazon. So I'm not sure why now. I'm kind of hoping that they just had a wave of these kind of bans and that it's not going to continue to happen into the future, but we'll see. There are ways around this. I'll probably be making a video about that, but real quick, the best way to do this is just have multiple Amazon accounts and spread the orders about. If you're drop shipping onto eBay, the easiest way to do that is just to use the fulfillment service by AutoDS. AutoDS will actually fulfill your orders for you if you have Amazon orders, and they are managing this issue themselves, so you don't have to deal with it, which is really, really cool. For those of you that are drop shipping Amazon to eBay, if you're doing it to Facebook Marketplace, then it really just works if you have multiple accounts. Smash the like button. Will eBay ship your orders before you provide a tracking number? Well, you're shipping the orders. Well, your supplier is shipping the orders. So, Brenda, the order is placed on eBay. Then you reach out to your supplier and give them the information where the item is shipping to. They will ship out the item. You will get a tracking number from that supplier. You then upload that tracking number onto eBay. for that order. So that's the way that works. So what you don't want is you don't want eBay to create labels for you because you're not going to use those labels. The supplier is shipping out the items themselves using their own labels, which aren't from eBay. Hope that makes sense. Thanks, Samir. I appreciate that. Okay, I talked about that. Thank you, Mary. Show me the money. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, George. Thank you, Sean. So there's usually a reason you've been banned on eBay, and usually you can get your account back if you appeal the suspension. But as a permanent ban, you got to find out why, so it avoid it from happening again. There's so many different reasons. Without looking at your account, I don't know what the reason was. Should I get an S Corp for eBay and Facebook Marketplace taxes? That's something you should speak to an accountant about. Everyone's situation is going to be different. Personally, I have an LLC, but that's just what works for me. Hey, what's up? All right. Wait, that was... Oh, okay. Will eBay send your payment before you provide a tracking number? They can in some situations, but as a new seller, they will not. No. Yes. From a bunch of different suppliers, but I have some videos about different suppliers that I use. Depends on the platform. So on Facebook Marketplace, we're primarily using retailers. Well, that's all we're using, retailers. Amazon, Walmart, Home Depot. On eBay, using a lot of retailers as well, but moving a lot more towards wholesale. And really, that's the bulk of it is wholesale. Nice. Congratulations. Like I said, the key is product research and title building. Absolutely. That's the way to do it. My account got linked with a restricted eBay account. What can I do? Well, what happened there? Do you actually have another account that's been restricted? Find out, get that account unrestricted, and then the other one will be fine. I'm not sure. Again, sometimes people say, hey, I've been restricted. I've been banned from eBay. I don't know. Without looking at your account, I don't know the reason for it. There's so many different reasons. Again, these are all things I teach you to avoid in the course. Things like VPNs or, changing your address too quickly after setting up your account, just stuff like that. Yeah. Are you from Brooklyn? I lived in Brooklyn for 5 or 6 years, originally from Long Island, but yeah, I was in Brooklyn for a while, then Florida, then a van for 2 years, and now here I am. Okay, this is a good question from Dale. Would you recommend using a wholesaler that charges a 15% restocking fee, provided your markup is at least 15%, or stay away from any wholesaler that charges a restocking fee? So inside my wholesale course, which is called Wholesale Titans, you get it for free when you join my eBay Dropshipping Titans course. So you really get both those courses for free, the retail one and the wholesale one. Just kind of explain this because a lot of people have confusion about this. So either one of those courses, you can watch the entire course and know by the end of it how to run a successful eBay store. The one obviously will teach you how to do it with the retail suppliers. The other one will teach you how to do it with wholesale suppliers. And I talk about which one you should be doing in the course and why, what works for you. Now, in the Wholesale Titans course, I teach what to look for when dropshipping, when finding wholesale suppliers. And one of the things I say to be aware of is whether they charge a restocking fee. Now, there's a whole set of criteria you want to look at that I lay out in the course, but for a lot of them, I make a point of saying these are just things you need to be aware of. They are not make or break things. So something like a restocking fee. If they charge a 15% restocking fee, that's going to knock them down a peg, right? That's not perfect. We want someone that charges no restocking fee. However, it is very common for wholesalers to charge a restocking fee. And the fact that they do does not eliminate them as a potential supplier to dropship from. It's just something I need to be aware of for precisely the reason that you stated. I need to make sure that we have enough of a markup on the other items so that we are making profit to cover any returns. So it doesn't quite work out the math here, because even if you have 15% markup, if you return the item, you're not going to make any money on the item. You actually lose some money. But that is part of it, because we have enough markup on the other items that something like a return, that's just the cost of doing business. So no, a 15% restocking fee isn't going to eliminate them for me, but it's just something I need to be aware of. Do I recommend done-for-you services for Amazon FBA? You got to be really careful. These done-for-you services, they promise that they are going to run your entire Amazon store for you, that you can kind of just sit back and relax while they do all the hard work for you, and you don't have to do anything. And usually they cost $10, $20, usually at least $20,000 to get started with them. Obviously, there are a lot of people in this automation space, as it's called, automation, that are just out to make a quick buck from you. So they'll take your 20 grand and not really deliver on the product. That's the hard truth about it. A lot. And based on the sheer number of people I've talked to about this who have signed up for services like that, I would go as far to say that most people offering these automation services aren't delivering. I say most because there are some that I think are legit and they're actually doing a good job. Yeah, that's just like as much as I want to say about it, because I don't want to call out individual services or people that I think are not doing it right. I don't even want to call out people that I think might be doing it right, because that then, by process of elimination, shows which ones I think are not doing it right, if that makes any sense. If you really, really, really want me, like a suggestion or maybe someone that I think might be good, you can send me a DM on Instagram and I can kind of say, these are people that I've heard good things about, but honestly can't give like a full opinion on because I've never paid for the service myself. Hope that makes sense. I'm just trying to be like as transparent about this. I'm just trying to give you guys the truth while also not trying to tread on the people that are actually doing a good job. So I don't want to blanket say that the automation services are a scam, that none of them work. I personally think that if you are going to do an automation, you should try first to do it yourself for most people. Obviously, there are some people out there with a lot of money and not a lot of time. Those people, automation services right off the bat might be a good investment for them with the right service. Okay, so just be super careful about someone that you're giving 20 or more grand to. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say. Okay. Thank you, Olivia. I'm having trouble with my products. I had a sale 9 times, 5 times of that product is. So I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but if a product's out of stock, first make sure you're using your automation service. Make sure you're using your, what's the word I'm looking for? Automation software correctly. The automation software will make sure that any items that go out of stock on like Walmart will automatically go out of stock on eBay for you. So first, make sure that's set up correctly so it doesn't happen again. Then make sure, try to find the items somewhere else. Before you do that, when you get orders, try to order them. When you get orders on eBay, try to order them from like Walmart as quickly as possible so the item doesn't go out of stock between the time that the sale happens and when you go to fulfill the orders. Now, if it is out of stock, you can go ahead and check to see if it's available on another website, for instance, and you might be able to find it there. Otherwise, you can ask the customer if they want a similar item. All right. Took about 2 months off from Facebook dropshipping. Any advice on how to restart my account? So, first of all, if you took a break, that's okay. I think that's totally fine. I need breaks sometimes. In fact, the whole video I made recently about why I quit Amazon dropshipping is all because of that. I was feeling a bit overwhelmed by everything. I took a break. I'm taking a break from Amazon dropshipping. So I think that's totally fine to do, even if it's going well for you. Okay, so I'm not really sure. What was the question again? Oh, how to like get started again. Just start adding the products. I know that's one of the frustrating things about getting restarted is that you had so much momentum before and now it feels like you're starting over. But you're really not, because just keep that in mind. You're really not. You already have a bunch of experience. You already know some products that do well. Start with those products, okay? Build on what you already know. Don't feel frustrated by the fact that you're not where you left off. There's time to get there, okay? Realize you're not starting from scratch when you're starting now. Good point. All the cargo ships backed up at the ports. Foreign suppliers are not a good option for a while. Thanks, Rich. Rich says, always a pleasure to listen to the master of dropshipping. Everyone take notes. Thanks, Rich. Yeah, so that's what happened. You don't want to do that. And again, this is something I talk about in the course that most people don't realize about. It could really, really mess you up. Okay. All right. I'm from Portugal, and my drop shipping business, eBay Wholesale, is based in Wyoming. I'm about to start my wholesale agreements process. However, how should I monitor the Nexus law and how to find a good CPA? So, yeah, okay. I'm not an expert on this, on international sellers and things like that, but I'm guessing that you used a service to set up the business here in the United States. I would ask them because they probably have a referral to a CPA that specializes in that exact thing. I'm not sure if you are a citizen of the US or not. That's obviously going to matter for income tax purposes, but just for the sales tax, you should really contact CPA. But again, look at what eBay is doing. eBay is collecting and remitting, meaning they're taking care of sales tax for us for most states at this point. So for all those states, you really don't have to worry about it. But again, this is something you want to talk to a CPA about. All right, let's answer that. I'm not sure what's going on there. You need a lot of new stuff. And it's called a stealth account. You could start looking around. I used to have a course on how to do stealth accounts. I don't anymore because I kind of stopped doing them, especially after managed payments. And again, I don't make courses about stuff I don't do, basically, which is the reason I shut down my Amazon course, because I'm not doing Amazon dropshipping right now. Does Amazon dropshipping still work? Yes. Does what I teach still work? Yes. But just kind of my, what's the word I'm looking for? My promise, right? If I'm not doing it myself, I'm not going to have a course about it. Okay, Classic Dame says, do you feel at some point eBay may become more strict like Amazon? Yeah, no, not as strict as Amazon. I really don't. They've had time to do that and they haven't. Do I think Instagram will start drop shipping? Yes. And you can kind of already do that with Facebook shops. But I don't know if they're ever going to, I wouldn't be surprised if they add like a shop button onto Instagram. But I'm sure they'll do something similar. Dale says, how do you know your virtual assistants aren't sharing your product research items with another person or dropshipper? You really don't, unfortunately. The only way you can really guarantee that is just get them so busy and give them so much work that they don't have time to work for someone else, and they just committed to you because you're paying them so much because they're working for you so much. That's the best way to do that. Hey, what's up, Mike? Thanks for coming back. Yeah, just because everyone's case is so individual. You need a credit card. I'm not sure what that means. Not sure. I don't answer questions like that. Okay. So you should look up an eBay fee calculator and just plug in your numbers. So just Google eBay fee calculator. You could plug in how much the product cost you, how much it costs the buyer on eBay, shipping costs, and all of that. All right, Jorge says, hey, Paul, congrats on the new home. Thanks, Jorge. Regarding Facebook Marketplace dropshipping for the paid course members community, could July, something got cut off. Oh, you want to focus on Facebook shops. Yeah, I'm going to be doing an update about that, but you'll hear my thoughts kind of all about that. Just because everyone's talking about it doesn't mean it's the best thing to do. It's kind of the short answer there, because there's obviously a lot of buzz about it, but there are problems with it. And it's really not for everyone, Facebook shops. Okay. All right, so we're coming up on the end of the hour here. So I just want to, I didn't get through all of the questions, which is pretty normal. That's why you guys got to get here early. If you want your questions answered, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you get alerted as soon as I go live. You can jump right into live chat and ask your question right at the beginning. It really increases the chance that I will be able to answer the question for you. Thanks so much for hanging out, guys. Hope you guys like my new studio setup. If you have any suggestions for wall art, let me know. Send me a DM at Paul J Lipsky, looking for something cool on the wall, something dropshipping related, but I don't know. I haven't found any dropshipping posters, so I don't know. Let me know if you guys think of anything. Thanks so much for hanging out. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up. I'll see you guys next week. We do this every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Mountain Time. That's 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks so much, guys. See you next week.